Hi beautiful people, if you are getting a year-end bonus this year, this video is definitely for you. Whether your bonus is coming in November or it's coming in December, you want your bonus to work for you and not for it to disappear in December shopping. If you are new here, my name is Les, and in this video, I'm giving you the playbook that you can use for your bonus to get ahead, avoid debt, and set yourself up for a powerful 2026. And you want to watch until the end, because at the end of the video I'll share with you some of the mistakes that you want to avoid when it comes to your bonus. So here are the 4 approaches that you can use for your bonus this year. The first approach is the January buffer approach. This approach is best for people who are parents, people who are breadwinners, people who generally struggle through January, and people who just have a whole lot of expenses in January. So if you fall under any of those categories, this will be the perfect approach for you when it comes to your bonus. And under this approach, you can do 3 things. The first thing, you can allocate 70% or more of your bonus towards taking care of the expenses of January. And here we are looking at school fees if you have kids, school uniforms, stationeries, paying rent or topping up on your rent, paying for transport, and any other expenses that you usually have in January. So you allocate this money and put it either physically as part of a cash envelope where you are stuffing for the different items that you need to cover, or you set it aside as pockets within your bank account if your bank account allows you to have pockets. The other thing that you can do under this approach is to pay some of those January bills now. Instead of waiting with the pocket for you to spend this money only in January, you can actually spend that money now and cover those bills already now. For instance, most people who are parents, you get the stationery list from your child's school already before the child goes on holiday. So use that list and buy those stationeries. Maybe you don't buy all of it at once, maybe you only cover half of it or 70% of it or whatever you are able to do, but you can pay for some of those expenses right now. Some of the schools actually even give you a discount when you pay in advance. So pay in advance towards the school already, pay it now. Pay now on the transport. Maybe it's a school bus, maybe it's a person who transports your child to school. Already top up on some of the groceries, the things that don't go bad. You can already shop and pay for them now, so that when January comes, you don't have to rush, you don't have that pressure that is usually happening in January, and you can also avoid getting into a situation whereby you spend all your bonus and you spend all your December income, and then come January, all of these 2 things are gone, and now you have to go and borrow, which is not a good thing. So you want to make provision already now, cover some of those things now with your bonus, so that come January, you are much more relaxed and you do not have to take out debt. And on top of that, have you noticed that there are some items, especially that are linked to school reopening, that in January the prices are much higher compared to this time of the year? Then you want to take advantage of those prices. You lock in the prices now so that you don't have to pay, and you are able to save on some of those items in January when prices skyrocket, because those providers or those shops and companies, they know you don't have a choice when it comes to some of the things. You cannot allow your child to walk barefoot to school. You just have to buy school shoes. And regardless of the price that they are charging you, you are forced into that situation where you just have to spend that amount, regardless of the fact that the price has gone up. You don't really have a choice. This approach of creating a January buffer or paying for your January expenses in advance, it actually prevents you from having to use your credit card to cover January expenses, and also for you to take out an overdraft just to cover the things you need in January. It also prevents you from having to call your family members to borrow money from them or from your friends. So basically it keeps away the stress when it comes to financial obligations of January, while it's also preventing you from getting into debt. And the good thing is, if you pay for things in advance, you might be able to get a discount, especially from your child's school, or you might be able to save on prices of things like school uniforms, stationeries, and all those other items that usually goes up in January when everybody everybody's rushing to get there. And on top of that, you don't need to line up in those long queues of January where everybody's looking for a white shirt and everybody's looking for this type of shoes, and all the shops are packed and everybody's stressed, and basically most of the people are also tired from the holidays. So it really relieves a lot of emotional, physical, and financial pressure from you if you implement this approach. And while you are here, ask yourself, will this purchase bring me stress in January? This purchase that you are making in December, is it going to create stress for you in January? And if the answer is yes, let it be, because it's not worth all the stress. I think a lot of times people are just stressed because they have not planned properly. And on this channel, we are learning to plan properly, and we are learning to implement the right habits and the right practices and putting the right systems in place so that we do not have to deal with some of those things. The second approach that you can use for your bonus is the wealth builder approach. And this approach is best for people with low to no debt, people with stable income, and generally people who just want long-term growth when it comes to their money. And for you to implement this approach, you are allocating 50 to 70% of your bonus towards investing. When you are investing, you are looking out for your future self, you are looking out for your wealth building path or for your financial freedom path if you want financial freedoms like some of us. So this is you making provision for your future self as part of your bonus. So your bonus is also being allocated, of which it's a large chunk of it, which is 50 to 70%, where you are saying the future me, the grown me, will be much more relaxed because this young me has made provision to invest a portion of my bonus every single year. Then you allocate 10 to 20% towards your emergency fund. If your emergency fund is not already fully funded, allocate 10 to 20% from your bonus to top up on your emergency fund. You want to have as much coverage as possible or as much protection as possible when it comes to life surprises. So allocate towards your emergency fund so that you can top up and have more runway when it comes to being covered for your emergencies. And if your emergency fund is already fully funded, you can actually put this money towards your money goals or also top it up again on your investments. It's totally up to you depending on how your finances are organized. Another 10 to 20% of your bonus goes towards debt. If you are somebody who has high interest debt especially, you want to top up or pay it off so that you can just focus on building wealth and achieving your financial freedom number. So if you do have debt, use a portion, in this case 10 to 20% of your bonus, towards paying off your high interest debt. Imagine paying off a credit card that was charging you 20% in interest. That is 20% of your money which is coming back in your pocket. That is a lot of money, and it's money that you can direct towards your financial goals, especially your wealth building journey, and also towards your retirement so that you can retire comfortably. Then we have a 5 to 10% of your bonus that we are allocating to December enjoyment. Yes, we do allocate a certain portion of our money for us to enjoy. You don't want to just focus on paying off debt and building wealth and you don't have any enjoyment in your life. Otherwise, your life will be dull. And what is the point of building wealth if you can't enjoy it along the way? The only thing that you are doing is that you are enjoying after you have allocated money to your future self and your present self. So you allocate 5 to 10% of that bonus and you do something for yourself. Not for you to give away to your family, not for you to treat your friends, not for you to buy people gifts and things like that, just for you. You decide what is meaningful to you, what is your type of fun, what do you want to enjoy from this bonus, and you do that for yourself. Be selfish. Don't use that money to make other people happy. This is the money now for you to spend guilt-free, where you know that yes, I have already made provision for my investment, I made provision for my debt, I made provision for my emergency fund, so my future and present self are already taken care of, so I can enjoy this small portion of my bonus without worry, without guilt, and I just make myself happy in that moment. Then we have the third approach, which is the practical approach. And this approach is best for people who have high interest debt, people who have little to no emergency fund, and people who are really just financially overwhelmed. There are a lot of people that are really financially overwhelmed, and if you fall in this category, then you want to consider this practical approach when it comes to handling your bonus. If you are busy stabilizing your income, you want to take the practical approach and allocate your bonus in this way. 40% of your bonus, you put it towards debt repayment. Yes, because you are drowning in debt, you are overwhelmed financially, you want to allocate the largest chunk of your bonus towards paying off debt. And then you allocate 30% towards your emergency fund. This emergency fund is the one that will keep you from taking out more debt, because now when the emergencies come, you have a cushion, you have a financial cushion that is going to protect you from taking on more debt or from borrowing further than you have already borrowed. So allocate the second largest chunk of your bonus towards your emergency fund. And then you can allocate 20% towards your investing. Yes, we can still invest while we have debt. Sometimes that is just how the setup is, but we allocate most of our money towards debt and towards emergency fund because of the financial situation you are in when you are overwhelmed when it comes to your money. But we still have that 20% that we are allocating towards investing so that our future self and our wealth building doesn't suffer while we are still sorting out our debt and while we are still building our emergency fund. Then you can allocate 10% of your bonus towards the December life, the December fund, December spending. Again, like I said in the previous approach, this is money you are spending guilt-free on whatever it is that you want to spend it on for you to really just relax and enjoy this money guilt-free. So whatever you choose, it should be something that is really just for you, not for the next person, not for the family, not for you to give away, but really just for you to have fun in December. You have taken care of your debts since you are drowning in debt. You have taken care of your emergency fund since you do not have an emergency fund, or maybe you have a very little emergency fund. And you have also taken care of your future self by giving that 20% towards investing. So this 10% is now for you to just enjoy, relax, and prepare yourself for the new year. The fourth approach that we have is the balanced approach. And this is the best approach for people who have moderate debt, moderate savings, and they really just want to progress in each area of their finances. And here is how you can allocate money in this approach. 40% of your bonus goes towards investing. So here you are prioritizing wealth building. So you are giving 40% of your bonus towards investments. Then 30% goes to emergency fund, just like the previous approach. You also want to prioritize your emergency fund because you do have some savings, but they might not be strong enough. So you are allocating the second largest chunk of your money towards your emergency fund. Then 20% of your bonus goes towards your debt, because here you do have some debt, but it's not that severe like the practical approach. You can allocate 20% towards debt repayment, which is the third highest within your allocation, having considered investment at the top of your allocation, followed by your emergency fund. So this 20% goes towards your debt repayment. And again, 10% of the bonus goes towards your December life or your December spending, and that is money you do something for yourself, not for your family, not for your friends, not for another person, but solely just focusing on you. What is one thing that is meaningful for you that you want to do from your bonus, and you do that, and you do it guilt-free. So those are the 4 approaches that you can use when it comes to your bonus. And you can tell me in the comments, out of those 4 approaches, which one are you going to use for your bonus? Maybe your bonus is coming this week. Maybe your bonus is coming next week, which is the last week of the month. Or maybe your bonus is coming early December, mid-December, hopefully not end of December, but anytime soon. What approach will you use? Are you going to use the January buffer approach? Are you going to use the wealth builder approach? Are you going to use the practical approach? Or are you going to use the balanced approach? Now that we have looked at the approaches, we can now look at what are the common mistakes that you want to avoid when it comes to your bonus. And the first mistake is spending your bonus before it arrives. Guys, I have heard this so many times. I'm expecting some money. And then the person goes to the shops. Yeah, no, I'm going to buy this thing saving, and then when the bonus comes, you are on zero, and this bonus is filling holes of things that sometimes are either not important for you or not of value, or they are really just useless things, or it's things that are not a priority for you right now, but you have already spent your bonus on those things. So when you see those Black Friday sales or those Christmas specials and all those specials that come with the holidays, don't just go there and start spending your bonus before it arrives. Plan your bonus properly and only focus on the things that you have planned for. Look at the 4 approaches and see which one you are going to use. The second mistake that most people make with their bonus is upgrading their lifestyle without upgrading their future. And here people prioritize buying the latest phone, the latest sneakers, buying this, buying that, without making provision for their future self. Have you allocated part of your bonus towards investing? And that is a mistake that a lot of people make. You need to find an approach where you look after your future self while you are looking after your present self. Don't just focus on the present, on the fancy, shiny things in the moment, because that high of having the new sneaker or the new item or whatever it is, it only lasts for a moment. But the regret that you get after you have spent your whole bonus on useless things, it will stick with you for months. On the days when you have nothing and you are broke, you will be thinking, oh my goodness, I can't believe that 30,000 just came in and just disappeared. So please make sure that you look after your future self while you are also looking at your present self. And mistake number 3 is not planning for January. January is one of the most expensive months for a whole lot of people. Yet, most people do not plan for it. And if you do not plan for January, you are going to borrow for January and you are going to get into debt for January. So that is a mistake that you want to avoid. So make sure that you plan in advance for January. And like I said, with those approaches, find a way to make sure that your January is stress-free, both financially, emotionally, and physically. Mistake number 4 is paying everyone first. It's your kids, it's your husband, it's your family, like your extended family, it's your cousins that are suddenly in your inbox or in your messages asking you for money, and you give to everybody and take care of everybody from your bonus. But have you taken care of yourself? When last have you actually done something for yourself? So don't make that mistake where you use your bonus to just give to others. Use your bonus and allocate it for your benefit and not for you to just make sure that everybody else around you is happy without considering yourself first and without asking yourself first whether you are happy. And when it comes to this, use this rule whereby you say, I only give people money from my giving budget. It doesn't matter which month it is, and it's especially more important for the holidays that are coming up that you have a giving budget. Whether it's a 1,000, a 10,000, a 100,000, depending on your tax bracket and your ability, have a giving budget and only give within that giving budget. And once that giving budget is done, that's it. You don't give more to people, because then you end up depleting yourself, you end up having to borrow, you end up having to do an overdraft, and you end up having to beg people to put petrol for you to come back from the village so that you can come back for work. And we do not want that. Mistake number 5 is thinking your bonus is for you to splurge. There are a lot of people, when they think bonus, they think spending, they think splurging. They think treating myself. I worked hard the whole year. Yes, you worked hard, but your bonus should be able to position you. Look at your bonus as opportunity money to position you to take advantage of opportunities. If you are somebody who is not in a whole lot of debt, you already have a fully funded emergency fund, and you are on track with your financial goals, you want to use your bonus for new opportunities when it comes to investments and things like that. These days, people are talking about the market being red and most of the stocks are down and all of those things. You can actually use a portion or a big chunk of your bonus to invest. Buy those stocks that are on sale. Don't just use your bonus to splurge and buy the latest shoes, and a few weeks from now you don't even like those shoes anymore. Mistake number 6 is letting your emotions lead when it comes to your bonus. Your bonus arrives and all you are seeing is how people are posting on social media, is pressure from social media, is pressure from family members. This one is calling, this one is saying, no, you guys need to renovate this other room because it's where Uncle who is coming to sleep. This one is saying this one is saying that. Then you let your bonus disappear disappear to those things. No, please focus on what you have planned for yourself and what you have planned for your bonus, and just ignore the noise. Don't let your emotions come in. Suddenly you now feel sorry for this person and you give away half of your bonus to that person. No, let us be logical when it comes to our spending. Let us follow our plans. Let us follow our systems that we put in place. Let us not lead from emotions, because listen, if you let emotions come in the way when it comes to your finances, you are going to lose a lot of money. You are not going to grow at the pace that you would have grown if your emotions were in check, and if you had systems that prevents you from allowing your emotions to control your spending. And when it comes to pressure and comparison and these things, always ask yourself, am I making this decision because it's truly something I want to do and it's coming from within me, or am I doing this because I've seen it on social media, or I've heard it from a family member, or someone is pressurizing you? Always have that question at the back of your mind. Some of the things look like they are your idea, but when you think deep, it's actually not your idea. Sometimes you have people who are whispering in your ear all the time, and they make you change your plans and change your money direction and use your money in things that you do not actually want to spend your money on. So always think twice before you make certain decisions, because sometimes it's not coming from you, it's coming from the pressure from outside. Mistake number 7 is not actually tracking where bonus goes. It's very easy. Money in, money out. It's very easy for you to get a 50K today as your bonus, and after a week you wake up, there is nothing. And you know why it's easy? It's because you did not have a plan for that bonus. You are supposed to have a plan for that bonus, but because you don't have one, everything else in your life will make a plan for that bonus, and that bonus is going to disappear. And you are going to spend a lot of weeks or a few months regretting every decision that you have made when it comes to that money. So don't make that mistake. Have a plan, stick to it, and you will thank yourself for it. As you can see from this video, your bonus can either buy you a December, or it can buy you a better future. It's all about what are your current life circumstances and which approach are you going to use to handle your bonus. Are you going to use the January buffer? Maybe you are a parent, or maybe you are really overwhelmed because you have a lot of family members that are going back to school in January and they require you to send them money. Then use that approach. Or maybe you are at the wealth builder approach, where you really just are prioritizing your investments and your emergency fund. Or maybe you need a practical approach because you are overwhelmed and you really want to prioritize your debt repayment. Or you are more of a balanced approach person, where things are neither here or there, you are somewhere in the middle and you really just want to make progress in each area, so you focus on the balanced approach. So whichever it is, create a plan, stick to it. Don't listen to distractions. Don't watch those reels on IG and then you start changing your plans. No, we are not finding ourselves in Swakop if we have not planned to go to Swakop. Wherever you have planned to be, that's where you should be. Watch what people are doing with a sense that you yourself have your own plans and you will execute your plans and you stay the course, and you won't live with regret, and you won't be broke in January begging people to give you a lift, or begging people to put petrol for you, or having to ask someone to pay your rent and things like that. And you know, the sad thing is a lot of people get chased out of their back rooms or apartments in January because they don't pay their rent in December. Please pay your rent. Don't run away, go chop your bonus and forget to even pay your rent. Some people get a big bonus, but they will chop that bonus and get their income for that month and also continue on that trend. And come end of December or come January, you have no place to stay. Suddenly you are homeless, but you were living it up at the coast during festive season. So let's be responsible. Let's have a plan. Let's stick to the plan, and you will really go further when it comes to your money, especially if you do this every single year, where you have a strict plan when it comes to your bonus. You will really see the difference. If this video has helped you, be sure to share it with your circle of friends, your family members, and also your colleagues, because if it has helped you, it might be able to help another person. So the best thing that you can do for them is for you to actually share it with them. And if you would like more tips on wealth building, you can check out this checklist.